Hey everybody, it's Karyn Bryant from MMA H.E.A.T. I'm talking with Gegard Mousasi, who is taking on Chris Weidman at UFC 210. Gegard, I know it's late in Holland right now, so thank you for staying up late and talking to us today.
No problem.
Awesome. So, couple weeks out. This is, I feel like you've had a lot of important, quote unquote, important fights. But you have done so well lately, and you are just kicking so much ass lately that I feel like this is a really extra important one, because if you get by Chris, it's kind of hard to deny you a title shot.
Yeah, I feel the same way, but Dan Henderson fought for the title. Now GSP is fighting for the title. Yoel Romero is next.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just need to win. I just concentrate on that first, and then do I feel I deserve it with my career, and especially if I get this win? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you bring up a lot of stuff and so much I want to get into, but let me, before we talk about the division, because I do have a lot of questions. Let's just talk X's and O's then, first and foremost, about Chris. Obviously he is a former champion, was there when he took out Anderson, and I was there for both of those fights. Obviously Chris is a very, very good wrestler. He's lost a couple in a row, but it's only because he's fighting fantastic guys, Luke and Yoel. So when you look at Chris, where do you see the most danger?
Oh, he's a solid fighter.
Yeah.
He's good everywhere, but not great. He's not that explosive. He's not that fast. I'm gonna light him up. I promise. I know he's a confident guy. He's cocky sometimes, but I think he underestimates me.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna show him. I'm not kidding. I'm in great shape. No one is taking me down. And stand up, I don't know. I'm just very confident. I'm just happy I'm getting this fight.
Yeah.
No, I got nothing against good. I respect the guy.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy. And at the end of the day, it's a fight. Afterwards, we're the same.
Right. Well, I feel like it's funny because I spoke to him a little while ago, and just like you, I agree. Chris is a nice dude. He's a good guy. I feel like, yeah, you guys will get along or whatever, but I feel like, and I'll have to go back and listen, I'm almost certain he said the exact same thing about you, that you're not great at any one particular thing.
I didn't get the last one.
I'm saying I spoke to him. I think he said the exact same thing that you just said about him, that you're good, but you're not particularly awesome at one thing. So I'm not that worried because, I'm not that scared. He doesn't have one thing he's amazing at that I'm not.
Yeah, good for him. I like it. He's confident. He's coming into the fight confident.
Yeah.
And I'm going into the fight very confident,
right.
More confident than him.
Right.
But may the best man win. It's a fight, no problem.
Right. So what do you think it is that's giving you this confidence now? Have you, because you stayed at home in Amsterdam or outside of Rotterdam, right? 40 minutes from Rotterdam or so, but why are you so much more confident now? Is it because you've been winning these fights recently and people are taking more notice of you, or did you change something in practice or have a breakthrough that's making you feel this way?
Well, USADA, and since USADA, I've been winning and experienced. I'm young. I'm at my prime.
Yeah.
Since the Jacare fight, I had 7 fights, and I believe I dominated every 7.
Yeah.
I lost 1, but I was dominating, and in the second time, I beat Uriah Hall. So
yeah.
All 7 wins are dominant performances. I didn't lose a round. I was never in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confident because I fight smart. I'm physically at my strongest now.
Mm-hmm.
Mentally, I'm where I need to be. I'm good.
It's all good. Wait, and remind people how old you are again.
I'm 31, so I can go. These guys are all, the whole division, a lot of guys are a little bit old.
Right.
They're around 40. And no steroids means it's very soon exit. Because these guys can continue to 40. You had some fighters that were 47, they were fighting.
Right.
And, I can tell you that's not natural.
Right.
But people can believe whatever they like to believe.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I'm glad I wanted to talk about this because, as you know, every time that I'm on the air and we're working over at Fox and we're doing this, That's something that we take note of whenever I mention what your record is. Whenever we say this, you have this incredible, 47 wins now or 48 wins or something, right?
50 fights in total. I think 41 wins.
Something fantastic like that. And then we say that, and then we're like, oh, and by the way, he's just 31 or something. So it's incredible to me because for some reason, luck or skill on your part, you don't seem to have taken as much damage as other people. And so I feel like that's a valid statement. You know, every fighter goes, oh, I've had the best camp I've ever had and I feel amazing. But like I actually legitimately think that, yeah, you might actually be in your prime now.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, and sometimes I fought I'm fighting.
Yeah.
You know, I fought a lot of fights just going in there and just fight a lot more on instinct. But now I'm floating, let's say.
Nice. Well, I know we talked about that with the second Jacare fight that you just didn't want to be there that night.
No, I was at my worst, I believe. But you know, nothing against Jacare. I you know, if he gets title shot before me, I'm happy for him. Mm-hmm. He's a good guy. He deserved it, and you know, I'm making my own fights to get there. So sooner or later, I get my shot.
Yeah. Well, you say you're floating now. You say you're in the zone, and I feel like it's a combination of things. I mean, obviously, yes, it's the winning the fights, and yes, it's things coming together, and it's you mentally deciding, hey, maybe I'll actually train instead of just go on natural instinct, which I know that you did for a long time. But I'm wondering too, is it partly that you are buoyed now by the fact that you have more fan support? You know, Dana White raves about you. You know, when he sees you do something to Thiago Santos, or he sees you beat Vitor, he sees you, this is the guy that I really wanted from Strikeforce. Like, now there is so much more positive vibes towards you, and I wonder if that has something to do with it.
No, not really, because, you know.
So F the fans, screw them right now.
No. I'm you know, one loss and they're, you know, back in the line and overrated.
Yeah.
You know, that's how it goes now, very fast. So I need to win this fight desperately, and I know for Weidman, he needs to win this one also desperately. Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit mental. It's just me going for the belt and he coming off 2 losses. He doesn't want to take another loss. So it's a mental part, I think, a lot.
So how much do you think that will affect him then? Do you expect him to come out there and fight really safe, or on the converse, go for broke?
No, he's gonna come. He thinks he's gonna break me with pressure, but I got something for him. This guy will be surprised. But yes, he's gonna come pressure me. He's gonna try to take me down. He's gonna he's gonna try to outwork me with conditioning, a little bit like he fought Yoel Romero. Mm-hmm. But I'm not Yoel Romero, and he's gonna find out.
Yep. Do you think there's anybody that you fought that you know, we could take like as kind of a blueprint, somebody that's similar to Chris that you've already beaten, that you can kind of use the same approach?
Well, Mark Munoz was also a good condition guy, and he's also a lot on works on conditioning as wrestling. Yep. But end of the day, I'm not the same fighter as I was 2 years ago, and he's not the same fighter.
So when you look when you look at yourself in the gym, and when you say something like you're not the same fighter, like, where do you see the most improvement? Because you've always had great ground and pound, you've always been tough, and everybody loves your jab. That's always been such an important weapon and a very effective weapon. But where do you feel that you've evolved and gotten a new skill set where, like, it's fun to go out and play with these new skills?
Well, I think injury-free, you know, 2 ACL surgery is going to take some time, because it's like a trauma. It takes time before you don't think about it.
Yeah.
So that's a big part. I think different way of training, different trainers. I changed a lot, and more experience. I know I went to take rest, and you know, all those stuff. I don't know. I'm just ready for the fight. That's all.
That's good.
I'm ready. You know, normally I'm not that excited to fight let's say, top guy, because who cares if I fight a bum or I fight the #1 most difficult guy in the world? I'm getting paid the same. It's nothing for me, I'm not excited to fight someone to measure, oh, is he stronger, is he physically better? But this time I am, and that's why, I know that Chris Weidman is very highly regarded very highly. So I'm excited to see how strong he is, how good his wrestling is. I'm gonna say yeah. So nice. I'm happy.
Well, this will be good, and you've seen the graphic that people have put out of Gegard Mousasi's expressions. Gegard excited, Gegard not excited, Gegard. So if we get a new picture to add where you're legit excited, that's gonna be something.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious about his wrestling. I like to test. This time I want to test myself against the best, and he's one of the best.
Yeah.
He's an ex-champion. He lost 2 times, but against the very best.
Right.
But he's one of the best. So
yep.
I'm looking forward to test myself now. The way I am now, I want to test myself against everybody.
Cool.
That's the difference.
Yeah, well, I know it's a great fight, and like I said at the beginning here, I do want to get your thoughts on the division. A lot of people do give Michael, a man you were matched up with initially for a hot minute before he got switched to fighting Anderson. But people are giving Michael some grief about fighting George instead of Yoel Romero. What was your take on that when they announced that those two would be fighting?
Well, if I was Michael Bisping, I would do the same.
Yeah.
Make a little bit money, take care of your family. I can blame the guy.
Yep.
He does what is good for him. And but on the other hand, he got the chance to fight for the belt, and now he's holding the belt and making fights that UFC is making the fight. So
right.
if you had to say, you take the credibility of the title contender away. Mm-hmm. So and then you make those fights. At the end of the day, not now, but if you continue to make fight like this, at the end of the day, it's gonna hurt themselves, because it's not very credible. Let's say the title holder. If you fight guys that are retired, coming after 3 years, or right. Dan Henderson, Yeah. But at the end of the day, good for him.
Well, to be fair, the Dan Henderson fight turned out to be fantastic.
Yeah, but let's say you do it once. You fight once Dan Henderson, and you fight then number 1 contender.
Right.
But now he's fighting GSP. If GSP wins, he's going to vacate the title, because he's not going to fight Luke Rockhold, Chris Weidman, or Yoel Romero. He's going to vacate the title, and then there's a whole different story back there. So, I'm saying a lot of times people get title shots just because they're lucky. Mm-hmm. Timing is there. The division is now very hard. Sometimes people get easier title shots, but then, you need luck. People think, if I get the chance, let's say I fight Chris Weidman, I win, and I fight the next fight for the title. Mm-hmm. I have a great chance of winning, but let's say I have to put everything on the line again, mm-hmm. fight someone also who's very tough, who could be champion, and I lose that one, then I'm back in the line.
Right.
And then someone else gets the shot. Yeah. So, come on. It's popularity contest. There's nothing. The belt means nothing for me nowadays. I was thinking to get the belt. I just need to make my money, and the difference is everyone to have the belt because you make more money when you have the belt. Mm-hmm. So pay everyone the same, and no one gonna say I want to fight for the belt. Who gives a fuck about the belt? I want to fight for the belt. Like, it's something, nothing. It just, I can fight the best guys and don't have the belt. Let's say.
Yeah.
And then fight the Michael Bisping, who I believe is the weakest guy, and then fight for the belt. Mm-hmm. From the top 4 guys, he's the weakest. So, I don't know. Yeah. I have to explain to people everything, and at the end of the day, they have their stupid opinion. It's logic,
Yeah, no, well, it's tough because it isn't such an obvious formula. If you do this, then you get that. If you beat X, Y, and Z, you get, it isn't like that. But as you said, Michael's a guy who's been around a long time. He's been in the UFC more than 10 years. He's done everything he needed to do. He came in on 10 days notice and won the title. You can't really fault him, like you said, for trying to cash in on it.
Yeah. I wish him nothing but the best, He's a nice guy. On TV, maybe he's a loud man, but he's a good guy.
He is a good guy.
Yeah.
He is a good guy. But so here's the thing. Yoel right now, obviously sitting sort of by the sideline. Luke has been out of it since he lost. He's dealing with some injuries and coming back around. But if you beat Chris, there's an idea that we know Jacare is fighting Robert Whittaker. Maybe they would make Luke fight Yoel or something, and maybe you would fight that winner next, and then a title shot. I mean, is that something you're considering, that you might have to fight Luke or Yoel?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I fight Luke or Joe Romero, the chances are much higher of losing than when you fight Michael Bisping.
Right.
But at the end of the day, UFC is making the fight, so if they don't give it the title shot, I have to fight again.
Yeah.
I have to put it all on the line. But, I'm not thinking about that right now, because Yo is ahead of me. Mm-hmm. Jacare is almost ahead of me. Luke Rockhold hasn't fought for a year, so I don't know. If he comes and he wins, probably go ahead of me because he's American. That's the way it goes, And what else? Yeah. I need to win this fight first, so I cannot have a big mouth. I'm not in line yet, so.
But you're getting so close, and then I wonder what you think of a guy like Kelvin Gastelum, who was doing well at 170, had some weight struggles, so they make him a 185er. He beats Tim Kennedy, calls out Vitor, beats Vitor, and now he's in
fight Anderson now.
Right. He's getting your hit list, because I know you
No. He deserves it. I'm not saying, but...
that's what I'm asking
Anderson Silva is picking his opponents.
Right.
And that's funny how is that possible. He always picks fighters that's suited for him, for his style.
Right.
So he picked Gastelum, not because Gastelum challenged him and suddenly Anderson is fighting him.
Right.
Anderson is also not the same Anderson, so he's a little bit older, but he's picking his fights.
Mm-hmm. So do you think that's a fight Anderson picked Kelvin because he can beat him?
I think style-wise it's good for Anderson.
Yeah. Because
otherwise, who is Anderson gonna fight? Luke Rockhold or Joe Romero? That's a bad matchup for him.
Anderson could have fought Vitor, and Vitor. It's going to be Vitor's last fight. Anderson and Vitor could have fought each other in Brazil, had the rematch, and Vitor could have ridden off to the sunset.
I don't know, but it's still a tough fight. I'm not saying Gastelum is an easy fight. It's a very tough fight, but I think he chooses his fight that's more suited to his style.
I guess my question to you in that too is, do you see Kelvin as a real threat at 85? I mean, he's certainly smaller than, you and Yoel and Jacare and all this stuff, but he's very, very fast. And he's good. So I'm just curious, when you see new blood like that, who is a way of jumping the line over some other guys that have been there a long time, Kelvin gets to be right in there and get some great fights.
Yeah, definitely. The middleweight division gets more excited when he's there, because he beat Kennedy, he beat Vitor.
Yeah.
So he's definitely a guy who can beat everybody at that division. He has his chances, but he's not gonna be a champion at middleweight because the pool is very deep, and I think at one division lower he has better chances.
Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously you can win. He showed it. He looked great in his couple 3 fights. So he's a tough opponent.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and there are guys like your Robert Whittakers and stuff right there that are younger guys that are coming up. I mean, do you feel like we will see some changing of the guard soon? That these young guys are going to come in, or do you think that Jacare, Yoel, Chris, you guys will hang out at the top a little more? I know you're on the younger side of that, but when you look at Michael, when you look at Yoel, they're a little bit older. They're late 30s.
Well, how old is Chris Weidman? 31, 32?
Yeah, Chris is like 32 or 30. Maybe I can Google that.
I would say
he's not that old.
Yeah, Luke, Chris, and me are a little bit like the younger guys.
Right.
With experience. And
but you figure Vitor and Anderson are going to be signing off soon. Michael is 38, I think.
Yeah, he's also going to retire. He said himself maybe 1 or 2 fights.
Right. Yoel is in his late 30s.
Yeah. Yoel is almost 40.
Yeah.
It's more difficult for those guys.
Yep.
They're just cashing in.
Mm-hmm. Well, I did see that they put another Rotterdam fight on the calendar for later this year. Obviously, your fight is in 2 weeks. It's in Buffalo. Are you imagining you wouldn't mind maybe getting on that Rotterdam card?
I would love to. I would love to. Yeah, I would love to. Live in my own home, fight. It would be easy, but I think it's a little bit far away, September.
Yeah.
So if I could fight earlier, yeah, no problem. But
Yeah, exactly. Because you could get back in the mix in during fight week, International Fight Week in July. You could fight again. I'm already plotting out your career, but you could do that.
Yeah, I like to stay active. So,
Right.
but let's see how the fight goes 1st, and I need to get this win before to see how the future gonna look.
Right, right. Well, so now have they had you? Have they had the embedded crew there? Have they had any more? What do they call that with your jokes? With your when you were doing the stuff with the UFC? Like, have you been doing any more of that stuff to hype this fight up?
No, nothing yet. I'm happy I didn't need to do promotional stuff. So
Yeah.
I didn't need to do anything. So better for me. Who likes to do all that crap?
Not Gegard. Well, I will be.
I need to win. That's the only focus. I just need to win this
Yes.
fight. Promotion comes when I win.
So, and you said you had a good camp. I know there have been times when you've had other distractions. You distraction free with all the other stuff that goes along outside of.
I'm good. I'm good. I've been training for this fight 3 months. I take Weidman very seriously.
Yes.
That's why I'm very, very, very well prepared.
Good. Good.
So, I don't know. I want to see that all-American wrestling.
Yeah. Well, good.
Because it's different. It's very different in
It is.
MMA. Good for him. And I think he's underestimating my strength. He's gonna be surprised how strong I am. But that's okay. That's okay. It's better for him to find out in the cage. Yeah.
Nice. Well, when you
No steroids for anyone.
no, I think it's a great thing. I mean, it's fantastic.
I haven't felt anyone stronger than me. Only Jacare was stronger than me the second time, and only one time also stronger than physically I felt was King Mo. But they caught him with steroids right after the fight. So
Interesting.
the next fight they caught him with steroids. So now there's no steroids. Come on, show up. Let's see who's stronger physically.
Nice. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. I was just going to ask you. Oh, before the Vitor fight on Embedded, they showed you buying a new apartment building or townhouse or anything like that. So, is your brother out there scouting something for what you might be able to buy if you beat Chris?
Yeah, we already bought a lot more since then. I bought a farm now, so I'm a farmer.
You did.
And,
I know you talked about it the last time. So what do you have on your farm?
Nothing. I have a gym. I'm making a gym in my where the sheep were normally. I don't have any animals. I can't even take care of myself, let alone sheep and dogs and
Get
whatever.
a goat.
So,
Get a little goat.
no, I made it the gym now, so I can't. It's gonna be training.
Why did you buy? But you buy a farm for animals, Gegard. You buy a gym for a gym. You
No,
buy a farm.
it's nice to have a big garden, have land. I can play soccer if I want to even.
True.
So everything is good. I'm around the water, so I can have my boat. I'm good. Nothing to complain.
It
Happy.
sounds good. It sounds really good, actually. So good for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice. Okay, so when are you getting to the States? Are they gonna let you in?
Yeah. They're gonna let me in. I have a Dutch nationality.
Right.
I have a visa.
I know I'm
and,
half kidding
travel.
about that, but that is a legit concern.
Yeah, before, when you have black hair, you wouldn't get into discotheques. And now they even don't allow it in some countries. It's getting ridiculous. Trump is, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad they will let you in. Chris Weidman may not end up being glad they let you in, but we're going to be glad they let you in. I'm excited. I know it's going to be such a good fight, and I am working that show over at Fox. So when you're there, probably, talking to Megan backstage, and she says, "Thanks, Karyn. Back to you, Karyn. So remember that I'm in the studio going, 'What's up, Gegard? Kick some booty.'"
I will. I definitely will.
Yeah. So we're always looking forward to you. So any chance that you'll stay in the States after, come out for a visit to LA, that whole bit that you always say you're going to do, and then you kind of almost rarely actually do?
I'm gonna go back, but this I don't know, in May or June, or I don't know what. There's a UFC Las Vegas gathering. I don't know. All the fighters coming, so
Oh, right.
I'll probably go there. Yeah,
Okay.
I go there and then I go to LA.
The summit or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, something. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna show up there. I don't know. But, I'm not coming for that, but I'm coming there for a holiday. So after
All right,
that,
cool.
I'm gonna go to LA.
Cool. And like you said, too,
I'm
maybe...
just using them.
Yeah, no, I know. Just use them for the plane ticket over. It's expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then like you said, you could fight. All things coming out. Without injury, you could feasibly fight again during International Fight Week or something, right? You like staying. I think if there was a time when you were like too active for your own good and you didn't get any rest in between, but I feel like we should see you a couple times this year.
Yeah, especially if I want to fight for the belt. But I also need to see what the timing with when Yoel Romero is fighting. So right after that, if I win, that I'm, I don't know. Things change a lot because let's say Michael Bisping loses, and GSP gonna vacate the title. Then 2 other guys gonna fight for the belt. Let's hope not. They're gonna give Bisping another shot because that would be crazy. So, then it's Yoel Romero, Jacare. If I win, then it's me.
Yep.
And let's see if Luke Rockhold come back, and then he's probably also in the mix. But I think he's behind me.
Yeah. Well, last question then for you: if we did finally get the Gegard Mousasi title fight, who would you like it to be against? If all these names are the champion, whose belt would you like to take? Put it that way.
I really don't care. It's when you fight for the belt, it's all about the belt.
Yeah.
I don't care who I fight.
Okay.
Easier, better. The much easier, the better.
So in that case, it would be Michael.
Who likes to fight a tough guy when you know you're gonna get beat up?
Right.
Who's into that?
Right. Do you think Michael would be easier to fight than GSP?
They're evenly matched. That's why they like to fight each other.
Mm-hmm.
I would say GSP is better, but I would say GSP is better. But let's see how he does in middleweight, and he hasn't fought for 3 years.
Yeah.
So it's a different story. So it's a surprise.
Yeah.
But GSP is a better fighter, no doubt.
Right. Well, we shall see. And you're picking Anderson over Kelvin Gastelum then?
I would say he's slightly favored.
Okay. Good. I'm just warming you up for your analyst thing. I'm going to get you in as an analyst one day.
Oh, they're not going to give me that job. I suck at English.
That would be amazing. It's because every time I'd look to you and I'd be like, hey, Gegard, what do you think? You'd be like, psh, who cares?
Yeah, I don't think we get a lot of viewers, so probably not going to hire me. Yeah.
All right, Gegard. Well, listen, thank you so much. Always a pleasure seeing you. So happy to hear that you've had a great camp and everything. And I know you and Chris are going to put on a great show. Really, really looking forward to that fight.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, just keep your hands up for the last week of camp.
Yeah.
Safe travels to the States, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Karyn. Thank you very
Thanks.
much. Thank you.